All right. Make sure. All right. Can you talk?
So what?
Okay, we're good. Okay. So let me go here, manage channel. Right here, I want to make this teen. Save. Teen rated stream. All right, we're good. We'll put that on spectate and we're good to go.
All right. I'm about to start broadcasting in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Starting broadcast now. And it seems like our poll sitter's internet just crashed.
Someone, okay.
All right. Back out. TJ, back out of the lobby.
All right. Hey, can you hear my fan in the background?
I can't hear anything in the background.
All right, good. Did Chum lag out, I'm guessing?
Yeah, but he's getting back in. But stay out so that way the incident that happened at Catalunya doesn't happen again. So you weren't there for Catalunya, but basically, for some fucking reason, it kept letting my car go and get on the track despite the fact that I was only supposed to be there as a broadcaster and observer. So the AI kept spawning my car in and driving it automatically around the track and it kept running into people. So...
Right.
Yeah.
Are you just gonna restart the stream?
No, I'm not gonna restart the stream. It's already going.
Oh, okay, cool.
Have you included your audio?
Yep, I already did.
Alright, let me make sure. Yeah, it says include my audio for me also. So can you still hear me on your
Let
stream?
me make sure I can. Go ahead and talk.
Well, if you can't, I'm gonna butter that ass.
No, I can hear you. Don't worry.
Alright, good. And thus far, I've not really had much of an issue with being able to or not being able to hear you in events, so...
I'm just hoping frickin' it picks up your audio too.
Alright. Daniel's gonna send me a message, and then once he's done sending me a message, I'm gonna start acting like the actual event's being set up and going, so...
And then that's where frickin' I'll cut the stream to and I upload it.
Yeah. If Ballistic ends up uploading a copy of this race also, I hope he includes a little bit of the pre-race stuff that goes over the points and things like that. I wouldn't expect him to, but if he does, it would be nice. Oh wait, yeah, you didn't know that Ballistic IKR uploaded a highlight reel for the race at Catalunya, did you?
Uh-uh.
Yeah, so Ballistic IKRs, you can go onto YouTube and just look up ISEC GT Catalunya, and you should be able to find it. It's about, I think the video is like 13 minutes long or something. A good deal of the video, though, is spit just like talking about the grid ordering, but it goes over most of the big events in the race, so... yeah. So if that's something you'd be interested in, you can always check that out. Sadly, apparently while the Catalunya race was being broadcast, I didn't realize it, but my internet must have took like a miniature crap or something, and like the middle third of the race didn't get broadcasted for whatever reason, so, but whatever.
Okay. This frickin' highlight reel is pretty fucking cool.
Just heads up, I can hear you through my headset. So if I can hear you, that means I can hear you on Twitch, and Twitch is really fucking copyright sensitive when it comes to music. So anything that has music in it, yeah. Once the actual race itself starts going, then it's only just my voice you hear, so. So, shout out to Ballistic IKR for doing that, obviously. Big plus. You know what the other problem is? I'm not there in the lobby, so I have no idea how close or how far they are away from actually starting the event. So I don't know when to actually start broadcasting like normal, so.
Right. Did they reload up the new lobby?
No, they've already reloaded the new lobby. It's just we can't get in there until they are all loaded into the game, basically, because they do not want Forza to automatically spawn our cars on track and have them controlled by AIs, like what happened at Catalunya.
Oh, that really happened?
So that's what happened with me while I was there. So.
So we basically need them to start.
Yeah.
Like the actual.
Yeah, we basically. Yeah. Yeah. Once they're actually on the racetrack and starting to like line up the grid, that is when I will get invited on in to the game so we can watch them. Okay.
All right.
Because this game's glitchy in the weirdest fucking ways. We got it. Alright, I'm gonna invite you in, and then I'm gonna start acting like we're actually broadcasting. So.
I'm just saying the audio for that video is kind of a little jacked.
Alright. Here we go, everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Spa-Francorchamps in the country of Belgium as we go to the 11th round of the ISCC GT Series. With the series now having eclipsed the halfway point, the points battle has most definitely taken hold, but when it comes to race by race, it's still pretty much open to nearly anyone on the racetrack. Today we have numerous new drivers coming from all sorts of locations in the world, from Asia, Germany. We still have drivers from Ireland, Australia, Britain, and the United States. This series continues to be a worldwide phenomenon here. But before we do anything else, let's go ahead and look at the drivers' points. So going into this event, Nick Human still has 5 points. Dino Prime earned a lot of points earlier in the season, but all those points were cast out when he left the series. He re-entered at Catalunya though. However, he now has to restart back at 6 points, where he is currently tied with Swan Haddock for the 15th position. Lucas MC Mess has 11 points. Icy Jack has 18 points, and GHR Taco has 22. Young Bomb 101 has had so much promise this season at events like Road Atlanta and Daytona, but it's just been a situation where he's never been able to capitalize and finish a race. He has 25 points currently. Ferrari Boss has 29 points. AR12 Top Gear has 30 points in the 9th position. Jacob Variable has 38 points. And then after that, we start getting into the big time. Drift Shot, still looking for that first win this season, is sitting there with a solid 64 points and just 13 of Drift Shot's already got his first win of the season back at Watkins Glen, but he's missed a few races hitting there. But 13 points above him is Hot Timmy. Timmy still looking for that first win this season. Then in 5th place in points is Drift King. Drift King has starting to receive a resurgence after switching to the Lamborghini team after spending so much time bouncing around trying to find that magical car driver combination that will work for him. And then we get to our top 4 in points, and this is where all the battle has been going down. Last week on Thursday, we went to Circuit de Catalunya, which was out in Spain, and it did not go good for Draggers X Ferrari or Coco Gamer 11. Both those drivers needed to have a good day to start closing in on Ludacris Speed. Massive gap that he pulled after winning there at Silverstone. Instead, they ended up struggling all day long. Well, Coco actually had a good run most of the time, but struggled late, and Draggers struggled all day long. Draggers is still 4th in points at 113, while Coco Gamer 11, winner of the season opener at Bathurst, is at 117 points. PM221, however, probably had the most to gain and did just about all he could as he ran down Top Gear, constantly trying to get the win from him at Catalunya. The win eventually did go to Top Gear, but PM221 was able to take comfort in the fact Dave was able to finish 2nd to close the gap on points leader Ludicrous Speed. But he didn't close it by much, because Ludicrous Speed came home with a 3rd place finish, and the gap between 2nd and 1st in the points is still a solid 13 points. That is enough that you could still make it up in the race, but PM needs to get a jump on Ludicrous, and Coco and Draggers need those top 2 to really have some misfortune as we move forward into the series. We're also getting reports that Dow Prime again is going to be dropping to the rear in this event, which is a very common occurrence for him because he has shown before he doesn't really like to take risks here. So, as we're going to go ahead and look at our lineup here, starting on the pole is a brand newcomer to the series, HCCR Chum. He came here, won the pole by almost a 1.5 seconds over 2nd place qualifier Draggers X Ferrari. But the question is, can Chum, who is going to be one of the youngest drivers in the series, not crack under pressure and take use of his front row starting position? Draggers X Ferrari is taking one of his best starting positions of the season. He's going to need to capitalize on it, though, and make it a solid run to the front. Not, his championship hopes are going to be just about done. Then you go to the 2nd row. 3rd place is going to be Coco Gamer 11. Coco Gamer 11 still looking for his 2nd win of the series. He's the series head, but just because he's a series head, it's not meant that's been easy for him. Then just a little bit farther back, in 4th position is Speedomatic, another newcomer to the series. Speedomatic showed a little bit more potential than running 4th, actually running up there in 2nd and nearly having the pole over some, but it just didn't work out. Draggers and Coco were able to capitalize on their runs. 5th place goes to Yunvon. Yunvon has had so many solid runs. He's taken poles this season. He's led laps, but also lags out so frequently that more often than not, he just ends up getting bit in the ass. He's just looking to have a solid top 5 finish after getting wrecked out late at Daytona, after getting screwed over a late race restart at Road Atlanta, and having connection issues force him to be dropped to the back of the pack with 2 laps to go at Silverstone. Then 6th place goes to our points leader, Ludicrous Speed. Ludicrous Speed, driving those ever-popular Ford GTs, he's looking for what would be his 4th win of the season, after winning early on this season at both Sebring and Road Atlanta, and then recently taking home a victory at Silverstone. 7th position goes to Drift King. Drift King is still looking for his 1st win of the season, but he's definitely got a lock on the single car team championship, as he has a dominant lead there. However, as we go forward into the season, he's gonna have to start looking for victories. Then you go to 8th place, another newcomer, that Bass boosted EG. It's gonna be interesting to see how he is performing. He's definitely one of the lower performing drivers in the paddock right now, but that doesn't mean he can't work his way up. Then you go to 9th. 9th is last week's winner, Top Gear. Top Gear, who only won in his 4th career start, having an absolutely crazy breakout event at Spa after running top 3 in all of his prior events. Honestly, if Top Gear had started the series out with us, it would be very much within reality to assume that he could be leading the championship. Then you go to 10th place, Hot Timmy. Hot Timmy seems to be having right now a bad flashback to his struggles early this season, where back at events like Daytona, Road Atlanta, Road America, he had a good car, but he would be forced to start in the back due to small issues and just would struggle all day long to work his way up through the field. However, Timmy, now having his teammate in Top Gear, might be able to take some advice from his teammate and be able to get up through the field faster to bring home that possible 1st win. 11th place is Swan Haddock, who has arrived for a single race earlier in the season. He's just looking to earn points at this point in the series. Then 12th place, Drift Shots RTG, probably the most controversial, albeit colorful driver on the track. He took home a victory at Watkins Glen after Hot Timmy, who was absolutely dominating with just mere laps to go, lagged out, allowing him to run off He's outside of the championship points lead, but he is on the same team as Ludacris Speed. And when it comes to the team points battles, him and Ludacris are going to have to start breaking their asses to overtake the drivers of PM221 and Dragons X Ferrari for the team championship. 13 goes to the Polar Kraken, who is by far the worst qualifying of all the new drivers, but it's still going to be interesting to see how it goes on as this race progresses. Then we have 14th PM221, who is currently second place in points. This is absolutely not where he wanted to start. This is really going to hurt him. 15th goes to Icy Jack. Icy, who's been having a disappointing year to say the least. It's basically come to the point where he needs to improve any way he can before he begins to start up a new season, because this season is basically a loss for him. And then 16th place goes to Dino Prime. 17th place goes to Ferrari Boss. These two drivers in the back of the field. Dino Prime willing to drop back. Ferrari Boss, I believe, missed qualifying. It's going to be a interesting scenario as we come here to Spa-Francorchamps. So, real quick question. I have here in the booth with me, same driver we've had multiple other times this season, TJ. TJ, what do you have to say about this event here at Spa?
Well, this event is probably one of the biggest events that we've had here in a while. We have like a max of 16, 17 drivers, I believe, in this race today. And
yeah,
I just
17
think
drivers
that,
today.
I think the drivers, they just need to take their time and be calm with their driving, because we both know and saw in the preseason race with this same size of people how the first corner and the second corner and just really the main part of the race, it seems we have a driver stopped. Shelm has stopped completely. It's just been, they just need to take their time, because if they don't, then it's just going to be a whole sorry, Trump's still going, my bad. It's just going to be hectic around the corners, and cautions are going to come out a lot more than other races, and I just hope they're able to get through the corners easy.
So, I want to talk real quickly about the driver we're looking at right now, Dragons X Ferrari, who's starting second. In the preseason event, Draggers was the driver who ended up winning, and then also our current points leader, Ludacris Speed, he got second in that event, and that was before the 4GTs got the horsepower upgrade, which has let them be competitive with most other tracks. I think we might very well see a resurgence by Draggers today, and also a possible winning run by Ludacris Speed if he can just get around the people in front of him. What about you?
Well, it's really just how you just can't really you can always make predictions on how or who you want to win and how everybody's going to perform. It's just really going to be up to the drivers today. I would love to say and pick my winners. It's just I could pick and choose anybody who I wanted. Like you said, Ludacris Speed. He's been a great driver all season. And like we know, he won 2 weeks ago at if you can remind me. Silverstone, right? At Silverstone, he won that race by a very close finish. Now, that was a good race and probably one of the best races we've had all season. But it just really, you just can't choose right at the center of who you think is going to take the pole, because you just don't know really mentally on how these drivers are thinking right now and how they're feeling.
Is it that, or are you just too afraid of not being able to put your money where your mouth is?
Well, if you want to pick, I could pick somebody right now. Like you said, I've already picked Coca, Gamer, and PM. But just from past experience with races and with that, and like you have your opinions about the GT or the 4GT cars. Those cars and the drivers are very experienced and they're able to control their vehicles well. These newcomers, though, they could pull something just like we saw Chum took first place in the qualifying race. So it's anybody's game here.
Well, one thing's for sure, we're about to find out whose game it's really going to be as we're coming down to line up. This is a track I believe we're going to still be using standing starts for. Yes, yes, we will be using the standing start. "17 drivers, the most we've had all season long. Next closest was 16 at the season opener at Bathurst, at the second race of the season, which is at Daytona. But 17 drivers, one way or another, someone's going to go home heartbroken, I feel.
Oh, you know it.
Alright, we're gonna watch our pole sitter, HCCR Chum, on this start here. Let's see how good he's able to pull off here. And if he can make any gap on the drivers behind him. If he can get through the first corner and then all through Eau Rouge and Redillion without too much of an issue, we might see that Dodge Viper of his run off. But don't forget, although it's a slightly older model, right beside him is Dragger's X-Ferrari, another Dodge Viper, and we're underway. Dragger's got a terrible start there. That's gonna let him run off to the lead, completely unexposed. Jan Vaughn jumps all the way up into second position as we go into the first corner. Coco Gamer is fighting with him right now.
Lucas speed off the track, Draggers.
Real quickly. There's drivers all over the track farther back there. Coco has moved up into the second place. Lucas Speed and Drift King are battling hard as they're heading down to Eau Rouge now. Going to Eau Rouge is where it all comes down. Top five have all come down in single file now. And now onto the straightaway.
So far, first lap is going great. Couple cars off the track, but we are able to recover, and we're still going green.
Drift King has moved up to fourth place and is looking to make a move on Jan Vaughn as we go under braking now. Jan Vaughn trying to get that BMW, just nurse that thing to an actual finish. A good finish that's not plagued with stupid events in the last few laps would be a victory in all in its own for him. And now he's closed in on Coco Gamer. And behind him, we have battles for fourth, battle for fifth, and battle for sixth going on. As now Dragons X Ferrari and last week's winner Top Gear are going as they go through the corner with no name and down to that long sweeping downhill left-hander. They're still side by side.
Drift King goes sideways off the track.
Wide, way off the track. Lucas Speed goes a little bit off also. They're both going to lose a lot of positions. That's going to let Dragger's X Ferrari move back into the fifth position. But that bad start has definitely soured his day. As further up, we continue to see a battle starting to develop for the second position now. Coco getting Jan Vaughn. We've seen this battle so many times this season, but usually only on the first 2 or 3 laps before Jan Vaughn ends up lagging out. Let's hope that does not happen today. Coco's fighting for a championship. Jan Vaughn just fighting to regain his own sense of dominance.
Jan Vaughn is taking second.
And Ludicrous Speed is catching up. As Ludicrous wants to make this battle a threesome. Here it comes. Coco Gamer is going to make a huge dive to the inside. They're side by side for a second position. Lucas Speed is right there. He's going to give Jan Vaughn a little push. Coco Gamer has better acceleration coming out of the line than Lucas, though. And Jan Vaughn has better acceleration than both of them. As Chum leads the first lap today. We have a 5-way battle now going on for second. Lucas Speed takes a dive to the inside. Coco shuts the door, and now Coco's got to look to get back by Jan Vaughn as Draggers is going to try and overtake Lucas Speed as they head down into Eau Rouge. That Ford GT, we know those Ford GTs do not have the straight line speed that almost everyone else does, but they can make up for it just about everywhere else on the track. So Ludicrous, if he could just hold even with Draggers going into the corner, that's not going to happen. Draggers going to overtake. He's moved back into the 4th position now, and he sets his sights onto Jan Vaughn's BMW. And Jan Vaughn goes slow. He goes off the track for some reason. I do not know what happened to Jan Vaughn. He's fallen to 7th. He's back on. No, he's not. He seems to be completely off track, and I'm not sure what happened to him. Once again, absolute travesty. Jan Vaughn again, but he's fallen all the way back to the 16th, now 17th position. Absolute humiliation on his part. But that is letting Draggers X Ferrari now.
Coco Gamer and Draggers both
fight.
make contact. Coco's off the track, moves to the pole position for 5th. Draggers takes 2nd, Ludicrous Speed takes 3rd.
But now, can Draggers Dodge Viper run down the Dodge Viper that is out there currently leading the race? As we now start looking at the time intervals, Draggers is already 4.5 seconds back. Just that poor start really hurt him, and Ludicrous Speed isn't going to let him try and get away by any means right now.
And I'm saying, I guess I just found out that Jan Vaughn was up in 3rd. He's dropped back to 16th.
Yeah, that's why I was talking. I'm not really sure what happened to him. He was running right there and just suddenly pulled right off the track for some reason.
A great start for
He's
the
back up to
newcomer,
16th
Chum.
now, but Yeah, well, it was a mixture of him. Oh, Draggers and
Draggers gets
Ludacris
pushed
get
off by
way into it.
Ludacris.
Both. Yeah, Draggers gets pushed way off track. He's gonna fall back to 4th position. I think he's gonna probably fall back to 7th by the time this is all over, as they're heading down to turn number 1 now.
What happened? Thank you. Okay, good. All right, it was buffer for a little bit. All right.
Yeah, same. Top Gear's fighting back now. Draggers falls back to 4th. He's gonna have to fight to get back by Ludacris and Coco Gamer again. And the more these drivers keep fighting, the farther and farther the leader is gonna get away from them. And if the leader, HCCR Chum, can keep putting down those laps, and Draggers get sideways going up through Al Rouge, barely keeps it straight going through Radillon. He's gonna lose a lot of speed as Top Gear gets back by him. Draggers is back to 5th now. Top Gear locks the brakes up at the end of the straightaway, but Draggers is not able to capitalize right away. He needs to be a bit more methodical getting up to people, but when he gets with them, he needs to get away from them as fast as possible. He got into it with Coco and then gets into it with Ludacris just a little bit later. He can't afford to have this kind of things happen. As we move farther up now, that battle for 2nd position, Ludacris' speed is right on the rear bumper. It's a classic Ford versus Chevy battle. Ludacris is way faster in the corners. Coco a little bit faster in the straights. Coco, we said all season long, his car is just very well balanced all around, while Ludacris, most of his wins have either come on tracks that are focused more on cornering ability or events where he's just gotten lucky. And Spa is definitely more of an all-around kind of track. He's going to need a little bit of that luck to really pull off a victory here, especially with a now 6.5-second gap between 2nd and 1st. Here we are, Ludacris Speed's looking on the inside of Coco Gamer now. Side by side. Chevy has the horsepower, though.
Young Vaughn has moved up to 14th place from last place. And like we said, Coco Gamer and Ludacris Speed fighting for 2nd and 3rd. And so far, Chum is having a great race, holding 4 laps for 1st place.
Well, you want to know who's not having a great race? We talked so much about him over the season. It's the 2nd time it's happened thus far, though. Hot Timmy has lagged out of the event, regrettably. He's going to finish dead last, well out of the points today. Very disappointing for him. We're going to try and get him into the booth and see what he has to say about today. Hot Timmy, welcome to the broadcast booth. Make sure you include your audio, and please tell us what happened.
I think I hit the limiter a bit hard there, and engine went kablamo.
Well,
So,
how did you feel? We saw you had a bad start. You were all the way down in 10th position, but do you think at all you had the ability to make up through the field and get into the top 5 at least?
oh yeah, we had plenty of speed, and that we just had a really poor qualifying run. Dirtied a couple of laps, which really puts you back in qualifying if you mess up even just once. So,
Yeah,
but yeah, it is what it is. It's just been one of those seasons for me. Can't seem to cut a break wherever I go.
Absolute shame. Well, we do hope to see better results from you in the next few races, but this is the last time that we want to talk to you early on in the event.
Yeah, it's just getting beyond the joke. I think it had party issues today for me. That's what that caused that crash. The party chat crashed and then the game crashed on me. So thank you, Forza. Once again, quality game. Love your updates.
Hey,
And it
your
looks like
audio isn't
I
included
hate
anymore.
yeah. It's not.
Ugh.
I guess not.
Let me check. My audio should be included. No, it says my audio is included. I also
Yeah,
want to
mine
talk
is
about
too.
something else right now. Draggers X Ferrari, who is battling there for a 5th position, he's now fallen all the way back to the 12th position now. 14th at this point. I'm not sure what happened, but he's just pulled over on the side of the track.
It's probably if he's run wide, insane.
Nah, it looks like the entire field's under caution right now. At least if we have to go by the way things are looking on the track. I'm not sure what happened to Draggers. Well, once again, Timmy, thanks for your input. We're very sorry to see the race go the way it did for you.
Yeah, it's just a shame it happened so early on. I would have loved to have done a few laps around there with these guys.
All right. Well, like we said before, we look forward to seeing you in about a week's time.
No worries, I'm going to get onto the testing straight away. I'll see you boys later.
All right. Farewell.
Have a good one, guys. Cheers.
Hot Timmy, hailing from the land down under in Australia, has shown so much promise this season and always gets taken out by just inane, bizarre stuff. Sometimes within his control, but more often than not, way outside of it. As we continue to circle around under caution here,
Yeah, freaking
Draggers is
mixer
still right in
sounds
the
completely
14th
stopped.
position, but he's gotten back running again. And another driver seems to have lagged out at some point. I'm trying to figure out who it is. And the Polar Kraken, who's 15th, he's making a pit stop early on. He's driving one of the newer Dodge Vipers by the looks of it. Possible games being played there with stuff. And it looks like it's Icy Jack who might have lagged out. So we're going to go ahead and see if we can get him into the party now.
It just fixed itself apparently. Alright, we should be good.
All right, Icy Jack, go ahead and include your audio. We want to ask you some questions about the race. Let me know when your audio's been included.
My audio's already included.
All right, Icy. Not necessarily the strongest qualifying run, but we saw you spend a lot of time practicing for this event. What happened? Why did you drop out so early on?
I don't know, man. I mean, every time I would try to take that one turn, my car would try to just go so close to the tire barrier. I spent it every time, and I try to get back up. Trust me, I was trying. I'm trying my best. But apparently, my internet just didn't want to agree with me, and I lagged out.
All right, so engine and connectivity issues taking out 2 drivers early on in this event. Do you think you had the potential to move up in the field a bit?
Yeah, I actually did, because there was a lag incident and we were having a caution. And then my mom was like, alright, you can catch up to them, no problem. And then bam, engine / connectivity error.
Alright, well, definitely disappointment to see and hear from you, Icy, but hopefully next week we'll see you in a bit more of a racy format.
Thank you.
Thanks for going ahead and letting us talk to you a bit, and we'll see you next week.
Logging out.
Alright, TJs, we're coming down here to the restart. It'll be lap 7. Realistically lap 6, but by Forza's counts lap 7. So, because Forza requires to count the mandatory pace lap used to warm up the tires, can Coco Gamer get a better start than Draggers did and maybe get up there and challenge Dumb for the lead? Here we go. Drift King gets a good start. He jumps right up into the battle for 4th place. And there
Four
went 4
wide.
wide for a lead. 4 wide coming out.
5
Turn
wide.
number 1, and Drift King goes to the lead with that Lamborghini. We've not seen him there, but Lucas Speed is right there. They're side by side for a lead. 2 drivers, both once on the 4GT team. There's got to be some rivalry going on between them. Lucas Speed has the momentum going up the hill, and he's going to take the lead back from Drift King. Side by side still as they head to the straightaway now. That Lamborghini has a bit more horsepower. Does he have the ability to get by him? They're side by side. Yes, he is. Drift King has the bumper ahead. He's slotted himself right back in front of Lucas Speed. The HCR Cub has fallen to the 3rd position, and Drift King has taken the lead here in the Lamborghini. Lucas Speed is not going to let go without a fight, though. He dives back to the inside now. They're side by side as they head down. Once again, that horsepower kicks in, but Lucas Speed is in the lead, and now AC on the inside of Drift King. He has Coco on his inside. He's gonna have Dragos on his inside. He's gonna get freight trained there. And now Ludicrous Speed in that 4GT is back out in front here as Balfranco chomps. Here we go. HCCR Chum is
Took you off
coming.
track a
Drift
little
King
bit.
is. Yeah, he went way off track there. I think
Somehow
that
keeps third
Lamborghini
place.
doesn't have as much downforce as it needs, or at
Chubb's
least
keeping
not
up
as much
with Ludicrous
mechanic
Speed
grip.
and for first. He's trying to take his pole position back. Ludicrous Speed pulled that.
It's gonna be a
out of
very
nowhere.
interesting battle here. Ford versus Dodge, another battle of American makes.
There's a
And
big
while
battle
this series is-
from third to fifth.
Going down the straightaway here. HCCR Chum, he's in Ludacris's draft, but is he gonna be able to make a move? He's pulled up to his rear bumper. Ludacris runs a little bit wide through that third to last corner. Now they're gonna head to the chicanes. This is where it comes down. And it looks like Ludacris is gonna hold on to the lead for this lap at least. But Chum's gonna, look, he fakes him out. He's gonna try and use a crossover technique. But Ludacris parked his car right in the way, and Drift King is fighting hard there farther back. Look at that battle going on for third place. Speedomatic is there. He's taking fourth place, just behind Drift King. Oh! Drift King gets killed! He gets rolled over twice, 3 times, 4, 5, 6 times out of Rodell. He's still rolling here on an absolute mayhem. The car went a little bit wide, going up through Al Rouge, and going into this event. They were allowed to go and extend the track just a bit on the exit of Al Rouge, going into Rodillion. But that Lamborghini clipped the tire barrier, went sideways, and got T-boned. And we saw that thing get completely airborne and roll 6, maybe 7 times before finally coming to rest on all 4 wheels. An absolute travesty as a driver who had led not more than a lap earlier suddenly finds himself way back in the field. Absolute madness.
We are under caution at the moment.
Dragger's X Ferrari, I believe, is the driver who knocked him in the door. I don't know how Dragger's got it, and we saw Speedomatic also spinning a little farther back while that happened. Speedomatic was running in fourth behind Drift King, and he probably got caught up in it also, but these 3 drivers, you pointed out earlier, TJ, they were having them, along with Coco Gamer, they were having a hell of a battle there for the 3rd, 4th, 5th position. Sometimes you just need to know when.
But you did have a say on the 4 GTs, like you said, with the preseason race. They did really good, plus the added horsepower that they've gotten over the season. So
definitely a very smooth move by Ludicrous Speed, able to capitalize on his former 4GT teammate. But an absolute madness as we saw. I'm still kind of amazed. This goes to show you why the duo of Al Rouge and Rodillion are still respected as 1 or 2, if you want to look at, of the most feared corners in all of motorsports, as we just saw it bit Drift King in a huge way. But yeah, earlier, just before that, we saw that you can, if you know how to do it right, you can make passes through that corner, and passes are almost impossible to get back by. So it's definitely a huge gamble of risk versus reward, but we just saw a little too much risk going on for that battle for 3rd. Yep. Gotta come down to the green flag here. And now Coco Gamer's gonna look to the inside of HCCR Chum, and RBM top here. They're gonna be 3 wide, and Ludacris gets knocked off circuit. He's gonna fall out of the lead all the way back to 4th, and Coco Gamer has taken the lead now. And there's been a spin farther back in the field I did not see who did or did not get involved there. Ludicrous Speed runs a little wide going up the hill now. And we are under caution by the looks of it. There was an incident that happened at the very farther back in the back of the field. We only caught it for a very brief moment with our cameras, but drivers in the back got all tangled up in an incident. And we are back under caution, as the old NASCAR adage of cautions breeding cautions here.
We're already 9 laps through 26, or 8 laps through 25.
Yeah, realistically it's 8 laps through 25. But if you've missed us thus far and you're just now joining us, we'll very briefly go over some of the basics of what's happened in today's race. HCCR Chum, a newcomer series, it's his first race. He shows up, takes pole, and on the start, he was on the front row with Drago's X Ferrari. Dragos just did not get going. Chum ran off, had a 6.5 second lead before a caution came out. And then we saw Hot Timmy, he lagged out. Icy Jack, he lagged out too. Coco Gamer, Ludicrous Speed, Dragos X Ferrari, and Top Gear all battled hard for the 2nd through 5th positions. Then on the restart, we saw Drift King. Then on the restart, we saw Drift King get into the lead very briefly before Ludicrous passed him back. And then going up through Al Rouge and Redillion, Drift King in that Lamborghini had a huge incident with the Dodge Vipers of Dragos X Ferrari, and I believe the other driver's name is, I don't remember it right now off the top of my back. I think it's Speedomatic, and the three of them had a humongous incident going through Al Rouge and Redillion, where we saw the Lamborghini flip multiple times. And now we're back under caution, as on a restart, an incident in the back of the field forces us to go back under caution. I'll step away from the mic for a brief second, and I should be back in time for them to take the green.
The 3 pole leaders is Coco Gamer in 3rd, Chum in 2nd, Ludicrous Speed in 1st. We've seen a lot of potential here for Young Vaughn 101. Normally he would lag out by now, but it seems that he's doing very well this race. Ludicrous Speed, after the caution, I think they decided to bring Ludicrous Speed back to the front, noticing that it was not his fault for being crashed into. And Chum is trying to take that first place lead back, and I believe the host of this stream is back. And we're about to go underway.
Told you I'd be back in time, as we're going green here on lap 9. And now, once again, Coco's going to do the exact same move he tried on HCCR Chum. Ludicrous is going to take hold of the lead a little bit better this time, as we're heading down into Al Rouge once again. HCCR Chum, Coco Gamer, fighting hard there for that 2nd position as we go up through Al Rouge and Redillion. Ford, Dodge, Chevy. And then Yunbon's right there in the BMW, once again having a very, very strong run here. They're going to be almost 3 wide. They are 3 wide for Elite for a brief second, but Ludicrous is able to take it a little bit further before hitting the brakes. Drift Shots has worked his way up to 5th place while we weren't looking, so the Ford GT is looking strong all around thus far as we're heading back downhill again. Here we are, Val for Elite, side by side. HCCR Chum, Ludicrous Speed fighting now. And Chum's got it! He's got to take the lead now from our points leader, Ludicrous Speed. And the pole center is back out in front as they head downhill once more. 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 5th all run really wide going downhill there. Now, can Chum start playing down that massive gap like he had earlier on in the event? That's the question. We know when it comes to straightaways, he's definitely going to have more speed than those Ford GTs.
Now, I got a question for you. Do you think now
Yeah.
that we have worn tires, and you think some of these drivers can work better off of worn tires, and that's why we're able to keep up with the pace like this, and why there's so many grid changes now?
I think that's absolutely the reason at this point, because that's really the only thing that's changed. We've seen PM221, he had a terrible starting position, but he's worked his way up to 7th. Drift shots, part of it is definitely the power underneath that Ford GT camp, but I think that he's shown that he's better on longer runs with worn tires, and that's helped him get up there. Meanwhile, Drago's ex-Ferrari, he's shown just the opposite. He's not as good on worn tires. He's still not even gotten himself back into the top 12. As we head down to turn 1 once again, Ludicrous Speed is going to try and take a massive dive.
Takes 4th place from Young Vaughn 101. Drift Shots trying to make his way up to his teammate.
Battle for a lead seems to have become more of a parade for a lead for a brief second, as HCCR Chum is using the power in that Dodge Viper to his advantage. Starting to gap the field here. And here we go, side by side for 4th. Yunvan's fighting back against Drift Shots, but Drift Shots gotta have better braking and cornering, but he's against one of the most talented drivers in the field, and he's not gonna take bullcrap from Drift Shots. Doesn't matter though, Drift Shots is still gonna get by that BMW. Ford is now 2nd and 4th here, and that means Coco Gamer is gonna be the meat in that Ford GT sandwich. As they go through the corner with No Name once again. So now that we're about 2/5 of the way through the race, or we will be 2/5 of the way through the race once we take the go past the start finish line here, what is the best scenario we're looking at right now when it comes to pitting? How do you want to set up your pit stops?
Well, you probably want to see, if you're in the back, you know, you probably want to keep going. Okay, well, it really all depends on where you're at. Because if you're in the back and the leaders pit, you might want to just pit as soon as you can with the leaders, so that way you're on the same position, so later on, whoever doesn't pit, they're going to have to pit eventually, you take the pole position, and then it all works out for you in the end. But say if
Yunvan's pitting now.
Okay. See, that scenario, he'll be able to go around at some point, depending on what pole position he can get back. Now, say if he gets 7th position, and once he gets out of the pits, everybody in the lead is going to have to pit at some point, so he'll be able to move himself up to about 3rd or 2nd. That's if he does get, like, 7th place. But, it's really just, yeah, see, Young Vaughn got pushed back to 15th. He's going to have to wait. Young Vaughn says DNF.
And a disappointment as Yunvan's engine expires as they go through the pits. An absolute travesty for the BMW team. Something we've not wanted to see all season long, but it just keeps happening for this man. We're going to go ahead and try to get him into the broadcast booth as soon as we can. See what he has to say. As now for 8th position is heating up between Drago's ex-Ferrari and Dino Prime. Another Dodge versus Chevy battle. I'm going to try again to get Yunvan in here.
Alright. Hey, can you see if you have to include your audio?
I
keep checking
shouldn't
back.
have to.
It keeps like I just went
It
back
says-
and checked because it keeps like turning off, and then like it says I have to like return it back on.
I just unincluded and then re-included my audio, so hopefully that fixes that just a bit.
All right. We have Coca Gamers now pitting. He's dropping back to 5th. Everyone else is still going green.
That boosted EG is also pitting, so. But here's the thing: the big thing for Chum right now, he has a unique advantage. There's basically no one in front of him. In fact, if we bring up the map real briefly here, he's got 2/3 of the lap between him and the next person now. So, what that means is. A minute. So what that means is if he can keep extending his lead over second and everyone farther back, and no cautions come out. This is under the assumption that we don't have a caution. If he can keep up, extending his lead, he can come in and pit as late as possible and not lose the lead. Or if he does lose the lead, he doesn't fall way back like a lot of the other drivers who are pitting early, like Coco Gamer is. Like Coco Gamer is already fallen back to the 9th position, and that boosted EG fell back to 11th. While pitting, so. We'll go ahead and take another look at our current points leader, Ludicrous Speed. Definitely having a very strong run, and I have a feeling if not for that Dodge Viper of HCCR Chum out there, Ludicrous might actually be leading this race. I'm not just saying that because, you know, he's currently running second, but we've seen that Alan Patton here has been extremely racy all day long and almost in a class of his own for most of the event. And then you look right behind him in 3rd place goes Drift Shots, his own teammate. If one, if not both of them can get by HCCR Chum, it can become a very, very interesting event. And Drift Shots is coming in pitting now out of the 3rd position. So the 4GTs running split pit stop strategies right now, with Drift Shots coming in much earlier, about lap 13, about halfway, while the leader in that group, Ludicrous Speed, is going to stay out there and continue to run 2nd position. And the next closest, though, last week's winner at Catalunya, and not just that, but he was the one who battled really hard with Ludicrous Speed for the win at Silverstone, ran 3rd place at the end at Brands Hatch, and took home a podium position also at Laguna Seca in his first race. It's Top Gear. Top Gear has shown absolute amazing results all season long. Briefly locks up the brakes, and we've said earlier, it's an absolute shame we didn't see him come into the series earlier in the season. Otherwise, he might also be putting his hat into the ring for points leader, if that was the case. And then a little farther back, just behind him, is Speedomatic. Speedomatic had fallen way, way back in the field, but he's caught up a lot closer now. Although part of that is because of pit stops having been cycled through, and he's not pitted yet. He's gone through about 46% of his fuel. Now, he might be trying something. He might try and go the entire race without pitting if we have a whole bunch of cautions. But the way the field's spread out right now, I don't imagine it's going to stay that way. And then we go back, 5th place is Dino Prime. Dino, another driver who's probably going to try and make it as long as he can without pitting, but those front tires, they're already 50% worn. I don't see him being able to go that long without fuel. And then 6th place is the Polar Kraken, and he pitted very early under the very first caution flag on lap 7. He pitted then, so he has the gas to make it to the end, but his tires are definitely going to be screaming at the end of the event. And now Ferrari Boss in 7th position, he's right there behind him. He also has yet to pit, but he probably wants to see if he can get by the Polar Kraken now, so that way later on, hopefully things work out. But here's the thing. he knows, at least if he's been keeping track on driver in 6th place, he knows that Kraken is going to fall off more and more as this event goes on, longer and longer.
And so I was
Make
able
a
to
little
pick up that
contact
skill
there.
difficulty.
Yep, and Ferrari Boss is going to go ahead and
Boss.
pit now. He doesn't want to continue battling while trying to, while potentially losing ground as PM2. Oh! PM221!
Top Gear
and
takes
Driftshots
first
got
place.
into it! PM221 and Draggers got into it. I do not know what happened there, but meanwhile, a completely different scenario has happened. Up front, Top Gear has taken the lead. I don't know if they're going to throw the caution, though. For that instant, we saw PM221 get into it with, well, we only saw like the back half of it, and we know that those PM and Draggers have not been good friends, but Driftshots and Top Gear is coming to a stop. I don't know if he's slowing down and coming to a stop so the field can bunch up under caution or not, but
Up in the front, top 3, Polar Kraken, the first time we've seen him. Up in 3rd place.
now here's the thing. HCCR Chum pitted. This is what I was talking about earlier. He worked himself up to a massive gap between him in 2nd and him in 3rd. So while our leader, Top Gear, has not yet pitted, he's leading now, but he's only down 39% fuel. Unless the rest of this race is basically run under caution, he has no choice. He has to pit. But Shum, he stayed out long enough, had this massive lead. He's basically going to inherit the lead back when we go green again. And then you look back at the Polar Kraken. Kraken has the fuel to make it to the end. I don't know if his tires will, but his super early pitting method, pitting on lap 7, this could play in perfectly for him. And then right up there behind him is Coco Gamer, who's really trying to keep his championship hopes alive. He's in 4th position. He pitted not too long ago. He's ahead of Ludicrous Speed again, while earlier Ludicrous had a massive gap on him. So definitely an interesting scenario. It looks like a driver who pits earlier ends up being better off for a brief moment because we saw Coco pit before Ludicrous did. But at the same time, if you have a large enough gap, unsurprisingly, you can mitigate the loss of pitting late. So Ludicrous Speed really ends up getting hurt, and then Driftshots, he's back there in 6th position. Now the big question is, who is and who isn't going to pit? Is our leader, Top Gear, going to pit, or is he going to stay out front? Remember, TJ, back in the preseason race here that we had at Spa, somewhat similar scenario in a lot of ways, and we saw it was just caution after caution after caution for basically the entire second half of the race. They didn't even get more than a full half lap in under green. Could Top Gear be betting on that and hope they can just stay up front and win the race like that? But one way or
But like
another,
you
we're going to
said-
find out. What'd you say?
Oh, I was about to say, you are right about Top Gear he's probably already lost down to about 38% fuel, and his tires are really low, and
He's at 39.
Oh, we have somebody pitting.
And who pitted?
whoever was just, I think, Polar, I think pitted. Whoever's,
Was he the
wait,
only
no.
one?
Somebody pitted, I don't know.
He was the only one who pitted,
Yeah, he
though.
was the only one who pitted, though, yeah.
So this is going to be very interesting. Not all what we expected here.
Ah,
We'll go
yes,
ahead and
rolling
turn the
around
map
again.
off. Yeah, that's a very odd scenario. It looked like only one driver pitted, and the rules in the series are typically that if only a single driver pits, they still go green. There may have been someone else who pitted, like maybe Swan Haddock or someone else farther back that we didn't notice. No, I think the Polar Kraken was the only driver who pitted.
Yeah, Polar, yeah. That's it.
A very bizarre development here. This is perfect for Top Gear, though, because this means he can continue to run in the high gear, or clutch kick it, basically, and keep his fuel as high as possible. And we also have in our party, he's joining us in the booth right now, Keyshawn, also known as Yunvon. Go ahead and include your audio, and please tell us what happened.
Down, I came out the pits, and then the engine happened. I guess they did something in my car. I don't know what happened. I talked with the crew early. They said they didn't know. They did something.
Oh!
Someone
What
does.
the
Had a race
hell
going.
was that?
But
What was the context?
right now on the track, after this race, there's gonna be a lot of yelling. I'm just gonna let you know that right now.
A lot of yelling or a lot of yellow?
Yeah, like people are gonna be arguing that. Trust me, because
Can you? Yeah.
this is how it all started. Drift shots went in the PM, but it was accidental because he was lagging. And while I was in the party, I even heard him saying, I'm lagging, guys, I'm lagging, so be ready if something happens. He kept lagging on my screen because I was spectating. And watching him, while I was watching over him, I lag a little bit everywhere. On the last corner coming up chicanes, he hit PM, and then PM came back and dumped him. So, Drift Shots kind of got mad, but, he didn't hit him back or anything. He just asked, can I get my spot back? Coca said yes. PM went to the spot, I guess, and PM is not letting him back in the spot. So, Alan, Ludacris Speed, said, all right, I'm just going to brake check him. Here you go, take your spot back, hurry. So PM just started wrecking everybody, I guess. That's what I heard. I really wasn't watching over that part. I was still watching over who was in the back and everything, but that's what happened. I mean, PM was taking out both of them, so it's going to be
Well,
some
we saw the last half of the first incident where we saw PM and Drift Shots still spinning after the second round of contact, but thank you for giving us some clarity. You're sure your audio was included for that, right?
Yeah.
Yes, it
don't worry, I
sure
got it.
was.
All right, good, because just in case, we'll want the series heads to be able to go back and hear that again, because reminder, Drift Shots is still on probation for instance that happened at Watkins Glen. This is his final race of probation. So, this is a really sensitive issue.
Just now. So, I don't know what's going to happen after this race. I don't know if this will happen about it, but Coca was really about to kick him out the race.
Well, we're going green once again, and we have a hell of a battle going on for a third position now. Thank you once again, Keyshawn. We're going to go green once again. You're welcome to continue to join us in the booth if you want. You've been here before, and you show yourself being very capable.
I definitely spectate on. I was being the pit chief for a little bit, make sure everything was okay.
Well, we're going down now.
Got me along.
We're going down now with 10 laps to go. They're side by side for second, and it looks like we're gonna have a three-way battle. Coco Gamer
Oh, he's not?
and Chum are fighting for a lead. They gotta get by Chum though, because the longer that
Chum
moment that
closed the
Dodge
door on him.
Viper,
Jesus.
Top Gear's pushing Coca Gamer.
and Ludacris Speed is right there also.
The two GT cars, 4 GT cars, 4th and 5th place.
I can guarantee you all these drivers, they see this new guy called Chum show up, and he's making Chum out of the rest of the field, and they do not like that in one slightest bit.
Bunch of angry dogs in this
Drift Shots off the track a little bit.
front.
Yeah, Drift Shots went way off track. That's gonna hurt him quite a bit. And Ludacris is fighting with Top Gear now. And Coco is stalking Chum, but I don't know if he has the ability to get by him. Valve for first continues to heat up. Coco is
Someone's off the
right
track.
on Chum's rear bumper, and Ludacris slides back a bit after running sideways to the dirt.
What
And now
Chum's gonna have
Drift
to
Shot's
do
gonna
is just gonna
be
get
third.
that good braking line for it. That's all he's gonna have to do. That's the only way he can
Coca
really
Gamer's
get him. He's gonna have to
closing
get
in.
him on this turn.
Here we are.
Cokie.
Series head versus the newbie. He's there, but Chum closes the door expertly through those tight chicanes as we head back to the start-finish line now. Full GT's running third and fourth again.
So, quick question. How you feeling about this race today, Insane?
I honestly went in, and I'm not going to say what driver said it, but one of the drivers said this race is going to be the public access version of Wreckfest. And that's honestly what we felt like would happen, but other than a brief instant we saw, well, not brief, but big instant we saw with Drip King flipping over a half dozen times through Rodillion, it's been a pretty clean race, all things considered. So, yeah, there was the instant lag related, but other than that, it's been a pretty clean race. And it's actually pretty nice because we've seen a lot of battling going on. As we look just a little farther back now.
I haven't been, like, scared in a race that long, ever. Like, it's been a while. It's been since Daytona since I've been that scared. Because I was side by side with PM and too wide. I just see him flipping towards my side. I kind of started getting scared a little bit.
Were you able to record that at all? Because if anyone was able to record Drift King's instant, they better share it. I got it. I was able to catch it live on broadcast. Like, I had just swapped to watching him as they went into Al Rouge. So, that was probably the highlight of the event outside of the crazy battles we've been seeing for the lead on restarts. And Ludacris ends up falling back to 4th place for a moment. I don't know what happened there. Did we lose somebody?
No, we still have everybody. We lost Keyshawn, Hot Timmy, and Icy. That's it. We still have everybody.
All right. We still have 14 drivers then. Okay, never mind. But the gap is starting to open up now. Right now, the biggest battle is going on for 3rd and 4th. As Top Gear is just a little over half second behind Drift Shots. Ludacris made a mistake, and he's falling out of the top 8. I think he's like
real quick.
10th.
I'm gonna do it before it gets spammed.
Yeah. Yeah, Ludacris has fallen all the way back to 13th in that instant. I do not know what happened to him, but one way or another, things did not go well for him. Really, really bad scenario for a points leader. And a good time, though, on the other hand, for Coco Gamer, ranked 2nd, but he just can't get up to Shum. Shum's well on the way to taking home max points, and the hilarious thing is, he'll be taking max points when everyone else in the field is the one who needs it. Drivers X Ferrari has finally worked his way up through the field a bit. He's come up into the 8th position right now. But after getting caught up in the instant with Drift King, he's just been kind of like meandering in the mid-pack at best. Not what you wanted to see him. We saw he had such a strong qualifying run. He was 2nd, was running up in the top 3 most of the race, and then after that major instant, he's just been stuck back here. Unless he can start turning something around. Granted, there has been some bad luck on the part of Ludacris Speed. He's out of the top 10 last time we looked, but this might brighten an end to Dragers X Ferrari's championship hopes if he just continues to only run in 8th place and Ludacris is able to start making up ground at all. We didn't see what happened to Ludacris, regrettably. He's back in the 13th position. He is catching up, though. He's caught the rear end of Ferrari Boss, and right in front of him is Dino Prime. So he's got a few laps to make up ground, but he's probably going to need a caution.
He's trying to close the gap on Chum.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah. Oh! And Ludacris and Ferrari Boss get into it there, fighting for that 12th position. Ferrari Boss is battling hard, trying whatever he can to keep that Ford GT behind him, but Ludacris is still able to get by through the corners. Now he closes on the Chevy of Dino Prime.
From 3rd to 6th.
As we look farther up, Drift Shots has moved up into the 3rd position once again in Top Gear. Not happy with that. He looks on the inside of Drift Shots. They're nose to tail going to turn 1. PM chooses 1,
6 laps
2nd
to
and points
go.
driver. 7 laps. You have to count the lap we're on currently.
Oh shit, yeah, that's right.
Going on this straightaway.
So far, it's been a
we know-
great race.
Yeah, the only downer, if you could even call it a downer, or you could look at it as amazing, is our leader has basically been untouchable all day. The moment he gets that nose in front, he's gone. No one can really touch him.
The
But
Newcomer
other than that, it's
has
been
been
crazy all day long.
Top Gear goes
Oh, a
sideways.
little bit
Okay, I had to
sideways.
fix a
Top
little
Gear
bit.
went really sideways, and that let Drift King come back up to 5th place. Drift King coming back after that massive rollover incident. And PM is right there on Drift Shot's rear bumper. Can we see some payback going on here? Nose to tail. We go through the corner with no name.
The second PM can make a move on Drift. Oh, Drift King overtakes PM.
Drift King overtakes PM, but he runs a little wide. Now PM's going to try and pull off that crossover move. He's going to move back into the 4th position now. That Lamborghini of Drift King just doesn't seem to have the downforce needed in some of the corners. Not all of them, just some of them. And he ends up running really wide and hurting his momentum because of that. I can't help but wonder if that massive incident he had earlier was because he didn't have the downforce necessary to exit Al Rouge the way he intended. But he makes up for it in straight line speed, and he'll probably catch PM once again on the straightaway here. And while they were fighting, Drift Shots was able to pull away just a little bit. He's now at 8/10 of a second gap between 3rd and 4th. And there
Well,
we are.
wait,
Drift King is.
Are they pitting?
Go ahead.
Oh man,
I don't believe so.
that's what it looked like. I don't know.
Yeah, they do have some people.
Someone's pitting.
I think
Who
Top
is?
Gear's pitting.
Ah, well, that's not surprising. He was trying
Oh.
to run as far as he could on one tank of fuel and tire and one set of tires, but looks like he finally pushed it to the edge as our leader
5 laps
goes
to go.
through Al Rouge and Rodillion now. He has a massive gap on everybody.
Coca Gamer has been trying to close that gap this whole race, and he's been successful for most of the time, but he just has a little bit of catching up to do.
I don't know if I'd say
Right
he's
now?
been successful. That gap has been slowly extending all race long, if
Yeah.
anything. Last I saw it was
Right
2.5
now-
seconds.
The only way he can really get up to HCCR is if there's a caution. If someone
If
actually
there's a
wrecks
caution,
the
that could
club.
change a lot.
Yeah,
that can
right
actually
now this
change a
battle
lot.
for 3rd, 4th, and 5th could change everything because PM, Drift King battling as they go through once again. PM's got the preferred line on Drift King. Watch this. Watch PM and watch Drift Shots because there's no love lost between those two drivers.
Now we got Drift King. Who else is behind? We got Drift King, PM, and Drift Shots.
And then you also have to remember, Drift Shot's teammate is Ludicrous Speed. Now, I don't know how
He's
much
all the way
team
back.
order is going to come into play in the Ford GT camp. We know in the camp that PM221 and Dragons X Ferrari share, there are some team orders that come into play. But I don't know if between Alan Patton and, I don't remember Drift Shot's real life name, but I don't know if between the two of them, there might be something
Austin.
going on. Austin, I don't know if between Alan and Austin, if someone's going to say, hey, Austin, who was Drift Shots, hold up PM so he doesn't gain as many points, and my point stay isn't harmed as much.
I said Drift King's actually coming for PM right now. See if he's gonna get him on his turn up coming up here though.
But they're both going to close way in on Drift Shots as they go through the
we
final
got
set
contact,
corners.
We got contact.
Oh, that
They
was
pulled
that
it back,
was
they
a
yeah.
little
pulled it
bit
back
dirty.
though.
Yeah, no caution. We're back underway now.
No caution, they put it back though. They put it back together, that's good.
Drift Shots just
Drift
wants
King
to get
says
through
he
the rest
won
of this
it,
race
though.
instant free. And Drift
Drift
King
King
just
wants
fucking
that
wants
fourth
every
place.
spot. Wow, and
Whoa.
Dragons X Ferrari has worked his way up to 6th.
Whoa, what happened to Drift Shots? Oh boy, I think that's a big, huge lag incident
Is this
happening right now.
Yeah, we have a bad lag incident, looks of it.
I think they're
Uh-oh.
recording stuff. That's what's happening. That's what I feel like was
Well, if
happening.
they're
right now.
recording stuff, they're both going to end up losing a lot of positions. As PM has now fallen to 9th, he's now behind Ludicrous Speed. Normally, I'd say yes. go
Actually,
record
wait a
it.
minute.
Nope.
Actually,
caution.
they're doing a caution. They're
Yep, it's a
cautioning,
caution. So
We are going to caution.
he's going to be given his spot back by the looks of it. And this means that Coco Gamer is gonna be able to get back up
Got
there
a chance.
with Shum. Yeah. Well, not
With
only
4
Coco,
laps to go.
not only Coco,
Well,
but
actually,
Drift
we're gonna
Shots
have 2,
also
but-
might have a chance if these two get into it. They'll go green
When we
with
go
4
green,
laps
we'll
to
have-
go, people.
4 laps or 3 laps?
4 laps. Lap 23, 24, 25, and 26. So 4 laps. And then as we
Right,
said
my bad.
before, in every race of this season, when it comes to 2 laps to go, which in this race will be on lap 25, and they're green, there's no more cautions for the rest of the race. The last 2 laps are guaranteed green flag, regardless of what happens. It can be a party crash, it can be a track blocking incident. You could have we could have a driver barrel rolling through Al Rouge and Redillion again, like we did earlier. Ain't gonna matter. They're gonna stay green for those final 2 laps to guarantee you
Lap
a green
24?
flag finish.
Right.
Or lap 25?
25 actually. Yeah, lap
Right,
25.
okay. Right.
Drift King's worked his way up into the 4th position ahead of PM, so Drift Shot's biggest friend right now, I guarantee you, is Drift King. Although Drift King's definitely
Yep.
gonna try and overtake him, he's probably thinking more in the lines of keep PM behind me. I don't want those crazy Brits on my ass anymore. So,
Right now, I guess it's a teamwork between between America and the UK right now. I guess. I mean, I don't know what's happening, but I guess it's
Yeah,
going this way
and-
on this race today.
and also, Drivers X Ferrari, he's in 6th position. A little bit better for his points. And Ludicrous Speed, our points leader, all the way down in 9th. Buried in the middle of the pack. He needs to make up positions and make them up fast if he wants to
Oh, yeah.
keep... He's not going to lose the points lead coming out of this race unless PM221 comes out of nowhere, wins the event, and Ludicrous loses some more spots. That's probably not going to happen, but Ludicrous wants to maintain as much of his points lead as he can. We're going to go green here, follow
We're
HCCR
good.
Shum and Coco Gamer. We're going green, into turn 1 now. Drift
Drift
Shots goes
Shots
to the
went
inside.
for it.
He's
Drift
got to
Shots
go.
going
Here he
for it.
comes. Drift Shots comes. They're all gathered
do
up
it.
there.
We're
And
going
God.
almost
they go
3
into
wide.
it. Shum is going to come out on top, though. There's 3 wide.
3
going
wide down
right
the
into
street.
Al Rouge and Redillion. This is going to get crazy, folks.
Woo!
Drift King is in 3rd. He's getting to the wall.
They made it through.
Drift King's
Oh!
able to save it. He kept it out of the
Drift
wall.
King
He's
into the
saying
wall.
he's into the wall. But he didn't flip it at least.
Nah,
But
he's in the
oh,
wall,
he
he's
got
in the
drilled
wall.
in the door. And another driver, I think it was Top Gear, got drilled also. Another hard impact for Drift King. Going through
Ooh.
Al Rouge and Redillion. And Top Gear had nowhere to go.
Oh, wait, I
Absolute
think we got another
travesty.
one. We got another one. We got
Oh,
a big
drift
one.
shot sideways.
We got a big one. Jesus.
What happened there?
This-
I was not watching. What happened?
Since everyone was so
Oh.
packed up together, they really
Yunbom,
couldn't handle
record it
what's
if you
going
can.
on.
Don't worry, I
I
got the
really
whole
didn't
thing
get
on
a
the
good glimpse
screen.
at
Don't
it.
worry.
Yeah,
I got
didn't
the whole
get a
thing.
good glimpse at it.
I
but-
believe it was it was somebody. It was whoever was in 5th right now.
yeah,
Speedomatic
someone
had gotten into drift shots, and drift shots he'd hit a rear fender coming into the corner, and then he just completely spun out and was ended up
yeah,
backwards.
someone a while and they came back from the track and just killed a lot of people in the field, but they're
But
back
yeah,
at it in the
Ludicrous Speed
same
moving up to
position.
6th place now. Drift King.
Actually, yeah, they started
wait,
in the
never
same
mind.
position that they did, I
Never
guess.
mind. 8th place. Not bad.
Yeah, Drift Shots just went all the way back to third.
Everybody
so
got
we're
their
starting
positions
off
back.
How he was.
I don't think he's gonna get his
Yeah,
position
right,
back
you're
though,
saying
because
we're,
he was his
we're
incident with
commentating.
Top Gear is what brought out the caution to begin with. So I don't think the 2 of them are gonna get their positions back, but everyone else will.
Yeah, right. We also got Keyshawn in here.
So we're gonna go green with 3 laps to go, and once again, this is Coco Gamer's really his. He has 1, maybe 2 more chances to get back ahead of good old Shum.
Just like what I
He can't
said.
get.
Coca is gonna have to get a good either bump or something. He's gonna have to get some acceleration boosting out that Corvette. He's gonna
But
have to
he
get
needs
up
to
to
be
him
able to
and
get
get
by-
on his side. And
Yeah, but he needs
He's
to
gonna
keep
have to
drift
dive him.
shots under him because we saw on that restart, we saw what happened was drift shots in 3rd place in that 4GT. He came and undercut Coco while Coco was trying to undercut Chum going into turn 1, and that bottled up Coco's run, and he wasn't able to even get alongside Chum as they went downhill. He needs to make sure Drift Shots doesn't do that. He needs to play the defense game until the braking zone, and in the braking zone go full attack on first place. It's going to be hard to do, but if anyone can do it, it's going to be him.
And we're coming to the green flag, and I think we're just going to want to be focusing on the top 5 for the next couple laps just to see what happens. And we're green.
Hey,
Here we go. Coco Gamer,
Coco
here
Gamer
he
tries
is. He's
to make a
looking on
move.
the inside of Chum.
He got it.
Inside, he got it.
He's
He got the turn.
He's
He
got
got
it.
it. He got it. He almost
But
got
Chum's
it.
going to have
Chum's gonna
momentum
have
on
that
the
speed.
outside. They're still side by
They're gonna go
side as
too
they
wide
go
on
downhill
road.
once more. Chum's got his nose in front.
They're both side by
Got him
side.
Side by
Chum's gonna
side.
take it.
He's
First
got him.
place.
He's got him going into Owl Rose, and Drift Shot's got
Oh,
him
we
right
got
back.
another wreck.
Coco Gamer goes
Coco Gamer got
sideways.
stunned. Coco
Coco
Gamer got
Gamer.
turned by Drift Shots.
Oh, man.
Drift Shots and Coco
Coco Gamer
Gamer
nine,
wreck
Drift
out of
Shots
second and
last.
third position. And they're still
Everyone-
wrecking down on time.
PM
Ferrari Boss
221
getting to
second
it.
place. Draggers third. The 2 teammates, PM and Draggers, second and third.
Oh,
We have
and the
all
points
3 Dodge
battle
Vipers
has
up
shifted
front.
massively. And once again, Vipers 1, 2, and 3 on the track. And that
And we have
bass-boosted
the
EG
teammates.
has worked his way up to 4th. This has become absolutely insane. And this is going to be the final restart also.
So whatever happens, happens.
This is not
that's
good.
good.
Oh, this is not going to be good for some people in the points. I will say that right now.
It's
Yeah,
not,
definitely.
Not going to be good for some.
Unless a huge wreck happens where like everybody's involved and only like certain people get through it, but other than that, nothing's really.
I don't.
Unless by prediction, PM
Jesus.
gets into the jump
Vipers
and they
all
both go
in the-
sideways. Draggers takes the win.
Dragons.
But
what I
is he
feel
going
like
to get
might
into him?
happen,
We don't know. We've
Dragons-
not seen. We've
Yeah.
not seen PM run up front. He's been like top 4 or so, but not actually
Also,
competing for
with
the
his
win.
teammate.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the big
I
thing.
feel like
How much?
Draggers and are gonna like be bunched up together.
This race has just got
they're gonna be
interesting.
working real hard in the first corners, in the first couple corners. But I feel like they're gonna be like working too hard with each other to the point they might wreck. I don't know. That's how I feel. But
Yeah, you bring
I
up a
was-
good point because
Yeah,
we
right,
do
you
not
say
know
it happens
how
all
much
race.
team orders is going to come in between second and third place. Because if PM says Draggers, hey,
really
just
don't
give
know
me a
what's gonna
push,
happen, huh?
and that's it. Like, Draggers' race might be over, but PM might still be able to get it. But if there's no love lost between the two of them and they're both allowed to go all out, Chum might be able to let the two of them fight and still run off with this.
And just like we were talking about a couple weeks ago with the 2 teammates, when PM let Draggers take the win, are they both? Is Draggers going to help his teammate PM try to go to the playoff? Or we're not doing playoffs, we're just going to do it for the championship.
Yeah, it's just normal championship points.
So if they just
No playoff
normally,
shots.
if he can help his teammate get to the championship and not be selfish, then I think they could probably take it. But if he tries to pass his own teammate, I don't think they're going to get anywhere. So I would just help my teammate
Alright,
and help him
before
get the championship.
I just
We'll do it after this because we're going green now. We're going green
Yep.
now.
Yeah, as soon as the race is
Include
over.
your audio
And we're green. No more pit.
Here
no
we go.
more cautions.
PM 221's got to look on the high side. That's
jump
not
inside quick.
expected.
He's whoa, woo.
Sideways,
Drift shot,
drift
got-
shot.
Oh,
that
PM
takes
got
it.
turned.
PM
PM
goes
got turned.
sideways.
That's it.
Everybody's
Race is going to
sideways.
be over when it comes to the battle for a lead. Chum is out in front, but look who's
Ludacris
in
Speed
second.
second.
It's Ludacris Speed.
Alan's gonna come for it. Woo.
I don't think
Ludacris,
he
he
can
has
get
2
him. We
laps.
saw earlier he wasn't able to run down and pass Chum, but with his biggest
Ludacris,
two
he has
rivals
2
on
laps
points.
to get
points,
this.
I don't know. Can he get him? There's gonna be a
Come on,
lot of
buddy.
angry thoughts going on behind them. Here we are,
I'm just
coming
going to
down
be
now.
watching
Has the head of
Chum.
speed, so he
Come
can
on.
probably catch
Ludacris
up
Speed
to
needs to
him.
try
Come
to
on,
pass
Alan, we
Chum.
got this.
He has 2
Top gear
laps to
goes
do it.
really wide there at the end of the straightaway.
This race just
Even
got
if
really
Ludacris
interesting
is
now.
not able to win this, just finishing second
points are okay.
when his 2 biggest rivals in the points run over each other and cause a big wreck that clicked everyone else, this is the biggest turnaround he
Jeez,
could have
woo.
imagined. He's there, but I don't know if he's going to be able to get by him.
Luda- Just gave him a big
might.
fuck you to the face and took second place. Man, I was not expecting that. Whoa, he went real wide.
Yeah, Sean went really wide there. He's feeling the pressure, I bet.
Ooh, yeah, he's feeling the pressure.
Ludicrous Speed has one more lap after this to try to pass him, and if he can do, he's closing in on Chum.
He's
He
close,
is closing in.
But on the straightaways, he doesn't have the speed. He has to be able to capitalize through the corners or get Chum
But-
to screw over in a straight.
Yeah,
And
one
Swan
more thing,
Haddock
though.
We
has
had another
DNF'd.
braking.
We've
The
had another
breaking
Yeah,
DNF.
Swan Haddock.
The breaking's really
DNF'd.
gonna matter right here too.
He's there. He's in
Who
that
did
Dodge
that?
Vipers draft, so he's not losing that much time compared to earlier.
Woo! Allen's got the breaking though, so let's see what
Points
he's gonna
leader
do.
versus pole winner. Who's it gonna be? Under braking
Swan
now.
Haddock DNF'd.
They made contact, bumper to bumper contact.
Ludicrous Speed
Chum's
right
still
on the
in front of
bumper.
Ludicrous.
Allen wants first place.
He's gonna try to
He
make a
really
move on the
wants it.
first turn.
This is the last lap. Here we go.
White flag.
See what he
Going
does.
into turn one.
Woo!
Ludicrous
He
Speed trying to
made
get
the
the.
turn. He made the turn. They made contact.
They-
They made contact for a lead. They're going again.
Ludicrous Speed off the track.
Who's in front?
He
Who's in
takes
front?
it. He takes
still
first
in front.
place.
Woo! They go
But
too
they're
wide
still
on
side by
him.
side.
sideways.
The Haynes Al Rouge and Redillion.
Oh,
They
Chum
made
Chum
contact.
sideways.
They both made contact. Chum gets sideways. He
First
saved
place.
it. He
Ludicrous Speed takes
saved
first
it.
place.
Lucas Speed's in the lead, but Chum's fighting back. Here he goes. Down the straightaway one last time.
there we go, buddy. Do
Chum's
this
got
race
that
for me. Come
horsepower.
on,
He's
win this
gonna
race.
run that
Win this
4GT
race for
down,
me.
but can he
Go.
get back by him?
You
Win
Ludicrous
this
Speed,
race
just keep
for me, come
going.
on.
Do not let. He needs to
And
make the biggest
PM221 has
blocks.
worked his way back
Chum
into
just
third
gets
position.
his tires.
Hey, if Ludicrous Speed and Chum wreck, PM221 is gonna take the lead, and the points battle will change again.
Ludicrous Speed just needs to keep going. Last lap.
Ludacris
Come on.
wins this race. I'm giving him a big hug and I'm giving him a Philly cheesesteak.
Ludicrous
buddy.
looking for what would be his fourth win of the season, and further try to solidify his grip on the points.
Come on, Ludicrous. You got
I'm
this, man. You
Chum
got
has
this.
Points,
hopped
though.
right back onto him.
Chum.
He's
PM
he's gotta
sideways.
make another attempt.
Oh, he doesn't
Chum's
get
gonna try
under
He
and
needs
make
to try to
another
block it as
attempt.
much as
He's
possible.
making-
Ludicrous Speed sideways.
The leader just got turned. CCR Chum has just turned our leader. He'll pull over though. He's got to pull over and show sportsmanship. But PM221 now is gonna go into the lead.
I called it. PM.
PM221 is in
for
the
the
lead,
win.
and Coco Gamer 11 is behind him now.
I called it too. I called it too.
Oh my God! PM221 is going to now make his championship hopes come back to life, and Coco Gamer along with him, as he's gonna come home second by the looks of it. One way or
insane.
another, a Dodge Viper was bound to win this event after taking home the top two spots in qualifying, but neither of those two are gonna come home with the victory. PM221 is gonna take home his third victory of the season here at Spa-Francorchamps with Coco Gamer in second position. Lucas is gonna make up, and he's gonna salvage into a third position. His teammate Trip Shots RTG is gonna come back in fourth position. Chum, who took the pole and dominated so much of this
Wow,
race, is
that
gonna be
was a
fifth.
good race.
While Dino Prime is gonna come home sixth, his best showing all season long. An absolute mad mental event. So much stuff happened in the
Insane.
final two laps
I
alone.
called those two to win the race. One of those two, and they end up first and second. I said
Absolutely
PM or Coco
unbelievable.
Gamer.
I can't believe
That was amazing.
Oh, but I gotta feel so bad for Ludicrous Speed and Chum though, because they were running so strong there at the end, and they were running each other so clean. I don't know if Chum dumped them intentionally. I don't think he did, because he pulled over and stopped for him, or if it was just bad braking, a lag incident. I don't know, but absolute
That was-
craziness.
I guess-
And PM22.
What I
He
feel
still
like
made
I
it
can't-
fourth
happened
to
in
get
si-
third.
what I feel like what happened in situation, and this happens to every racer, trust me. He tried to follow his braking line, but the Viper doesn't have that much of a good braking. So he tried to follow the 4GT's braking line, and I guess it didn't work
Let's
out
get
well
PM
for
in
him.
here.
And I guess
Go ahead and get
his
a
car
race.
wasn't
Wait,
capable.
before you get him in, Jan Vaughn, real quick, what do you have to say about your day? We saw you DNF. Go ahead and say again what you said earlier for those who missed it.
What happened?
Yeah, for your race. You said you wanted an interview,
Oh.
so we'll go ahead and give you your interview now.
Oh, no, I'll wait till everyone gets here first. I mean,
All right,
gee,
we'll go
I'm
ahead.
shocked right now.
Yeah, let's go ahead and get our
Christ.
race winner in here in an unbelievable circumstance and fashion. I still can't believe what happened. What the hell happened there?
That was an amazing race.
That was mental! Anyways, it looks like our leader is gonna join the party. PM221, make sure your audio is included, and please, we want to hear everything you have to say.
I'm gonna let Dragger speak for me.
Give me 2
You
seconds.
won this race, man, in the most unanticipated fashion. Surely you got something to say, PM.
Yeah,
I do
but the
have
way
things
he.
to say.
Shall I talk or should you talk?
Draggers
You
needs
talk, you
to
talk.
keep PG. So.
You say 2 words about it and then also the rest.
I
I'll be
call
your
my
foreman.
interview second before shit gets
Hang on, my
real,
first
just
word is
saying.
the
Alright.
F word. Hang on, I need to rethink this.
You can go ahead and curse. This isn't like a child-friendly stream. You can curse.
Oh, that was fucking terrible.
fucking terrible, but you won.
If I can
Oh, yeah.
tell.
You can
won.
say, yeah.
It was fucking
If I can
terrible
shoot.
race.
If I can shoot.
Do you have
Oh,
anything else to say? You get to elaborate on why you thought this was terrible, at least.
Oh no, I'll do that later.
Now, do you want me to do that? Because I'm happy to do
You
that.
guys.
Oh okay. Go for it.
Jesus.
Well, PM got the victory, but wasn't without sacrificing another driver who will stay unnamed. PM had to work amazingly hard through the pack, getting in multiple incidents throughout the race, which I saw most of them he was involved with. But we're apparently going to have a chat, aka fist fight, with some of the other drivers after the interview. So looking forward to that.
Do I need to get my handgun out?
Yeah, no, not that. You're not the American one here. You're the Irish one.
Do I need to get my revolver?
No, you're not the Texan one here. You're the Irish one.
You gotta go grab the
I will
drunk
say
beer
American
bottle.
more American stereotypes if you want me to.
We need to get my knife. That one. That's it.
You're not French.
Thank you.
It's the best I can do.
Alright, well, we want to go ahead also. We're going to break tradition. Normally we go down the line, but we want to talk to our pole sitter and the driver who dominated today's race. HCCR Tom, make sure that your audio is included. We want to hear what you had to say.
So I mean, it was pretty good all the way through. I'm not gonna blame anyone for what happened at the end because too wide throw rouge isn't usually the best idea, but it's fun, so it's pretty good. Yeah, I just speed broke a little bit earlier than I thought he was going to at that
He tends to.
corners. So then I hit him because I didn't brake because I didn't see him
was
start
no
braking.
room.
So and yeah, I was right on his bumper anyway. So then I just waited because that's what I always do because I'm barely contending for point standings and rather just have it a better race.
I've got a question.
Alright.
I've got a question for you. How old
Yes.
are you?
13.
Pedo.
For being
Fuck
a
off, innit?
13-year-old, you fucking put the unlucky number 13 on the rest of the field most of this race. We saw you stretch out gaps of like over 6 seconds over second place alone at some
13-year-old
point.
getting a second and a half better than me. Fuck off.
Oh, look at you.
It's the same
Is he the youngest in the series?
I
Yes,
think he's
he
the
is,
youngest in the
by a
series.
long way.
And yet he
I'm
kicked
one of the
everyone's
fastest
asses.
as well.
Yeah, dude, I
The
just want to say,
youngest
like,
and one of the
everyone is,
fastest.
I have to
You
admit,
today.
I'm a little bit disappointed in myself that I didn't give you more attention because there was a lot of battles going on in the back, but you were so
It should-
dominant today.
This is the first time I heard him speak. That's an amazing job. I've got even more respect for you after that race. Fucking yeah.
He's the first youngest.
And I was
then
stuck,
it's
no
Icy,
street
then me. God damn.
Coca,
he's
I
third
think,
youngest.
yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Wow,
But no, we
my,
also want to go ahead.
Then I'm
Not-
happy. Okay.
We also want to go ahead and talk to our second place finisher, Coco Gamer 11. Coca, it's not a win, but second place, finished ahead of the points leader, keeping your championship hopes alive. What do you have to say?
Well, you know, we like to think thanks Chevrolet for the great engine, but you know it. Just,
Fuck you.
it was a bad day until the very ending. You know, for a guy who just, you know, I qualified third, and it just, I thought today wasn't gonna be the greatest because I was trying to remember from the preseason race how I didn't really do good at this track. PM was obviously the main guy this entire race, whether it was the preseason race or this race. He was just the fastest guy out there, and so it. Well, besides Chum, that is. Sorry. You know,
Consistent.
Yeah, it's. You know, when I saw that accident happen in front of me, I was like, oh yes, but then also I said now it's
Oh,
time
no.
to fight to get first from PM. But you know, if only I had one more lap or so, I would have been able to get him. Coming down the front straightaway to the checkered flag, I didn't have enough coming out of that last chicane. But yeah, congratulations to PM, congratulations to everybody else. Hopefully we can have better races in the future.
Yeah.
Question for you.
Well, this is a
I have
bad
a
race.
question.
I'd love to see what a good race is.
Hey, hold on. TJ had a question.
Or-
What's
So,
up?
Coca, after
came-
this whole
who came in
race,
third?
is there going to be, are you going to look back at it being the series host? Are you going to look back, are there probably going to be any penalties from this race?
Definitely.
More than likely, yes. Between two groups of drivers, but yeah, it's.
We'll stay unnamed.
Anything. The thing is that yeah, whatever happens, and you know.
Zoom in the
So-
party.
Yeah. Yeah, today wasn't the greatest race, as it's probably one of the worst races out of our entire season. But you know, whatever.
Me and Insane here in
We'll
the
move
booth are
on
having
from
a
it. We'll
ball
move
with
on
it.
from and hopefully have better races at Hockenheim or.
Well,
yeah,
either
have a
way,
better race.
Coca, you may have had a bad race, but you still came home second place, taking home a bunch of points today, so you can be proud of yourself
Yeah.
for that. But also,
I got a
we're talking
question.
to our points leader.
Wait.
Oh, wait, go ahead, say something.
Over question.
Alan came in third, right?
Yes, Alan came third. Lucas B came third.
Can I please get my interview before him? Because I know shit's gonna get real when he goes. Please.
All right, Jan Vaughn, go ahead, say what you want to about the event.
Yay! All right. Even though I died in the pits because my crew fucking sucks, right? Today was a good race. I saw somebody die today.
Yeah, your car.
I was scared to death because me and Pete were side by side and I didn't go. I thought a fucking wheel was gonna come through my window shield, honestly. But today was a good race. And when I cut the track earlier, that fucking sucked. I had to go all the way to the back. I didn't even want to be sneaky with it. I just went straight to the back, you know, because I was guilty. So I went straight to the back. I somehow made my way all the way back up. I was passing I think I went to 15th to 6th, if I'm not mistaken. But I'm kind of glad how I did today. I felt like it could have been better. Probably you know. But anyway, today was just a shit show, honestly.
All right. Heads up, everyone who has already done their interview
wasn't
and have
finished,
nothing else
no.
to say, you can go ahead and pop out before the party crashes, okay?
Thick if. I haven't done my interview yet. And he gone.
Do you have anything else to say, Jan Vaughn?
Right now, the way I'm standing in the points, it's not too well. But to me right now, I felt like I already kind of proved myself to almost every driver. I felt like I had a good race with all the drivers like PM, Jeff Shots, Ludacris, Draggers, Ferrari, Top Gear. I felt like I had a real good race with all of them, close quarters.
Wait, you
especially on
battled me?
Silverstone. Yes, Silverstone.
Yeah, he battled you.
Oh, Silverstone. Got it. Yeah.
Hand rolled Atlanta.
Oh yeah. That's one.
But I know, me too. Trust me.
BMW Ultimate Drive Machine.
It's It's like
I feel
flashbacks
like
to when
I
Montoya
proved
was
Made in
myself to
China.
BMW.
everyone's a good racer here. I felt like proving myself to everyone. So, I wish you all the best for the rest of the races, especially not my damn self. 'Cause
I
I'm
wish
not
your
gonna make it
internet got
anyway.
busted.
Thank you.
You mean his engine?
Me too.
I wanted to do more than like. I wanted to do more than half races. You're such a talent.
I know. Thanks, man.
That's just talent that just can't be unleashed. Because shit that happened in the past. Ow, that hurt.
I know. But hopefully we'll
Alright.
have a good race next time. So, just hope that.
All right. Thanks. And now we want to go ahead and talk to our points leader, the guy who was leading, going through the first corner on the final lap, and ended up still losing the race. Ludicrous Speed, what do you have to say?
I just have to say that race personally
your
was
audio's
a bit of a
included.
decent. It is included. Anyway,
Okay.
for personally, even though I did finish third, somehow came out of that wreck quick as hell. It was a disaster for me, mostly on my part, 99% on my part, because
Part of it was my fault.
about with maybe 6 laps to go, I overshot a corner and took the liberty upon myself to drop back to the pack following the rules. And then of course I blamed myself for braking early in front of Chum. I didn't realize he was that close to me, and I thought I would try to put an early block on him just to hold the inside line to try and get it through the straightaway before the final 2 corners. But it is what it is. Third place is okay, and at least I was able to recover a little bit to make sure I hopefully keep the points lead. But no, it was an okay race today. So, but still a disaster.
Well, it might have been a disaster, and granted, we're seeing you lose a little bit more points to your rival, PM221,
Yes.
when it comes to the championship, but you did bounce back, and you were able to finish third, after all, after being competitive all day long, so good job there. Do you have
And I got
anything
it.
else
I got.
you have
Yeah,
to
I
say
gotta
going?
give it to Chum. That guy's a hell of a driver, honestly, and I honestly feel bad for myself for also kind of fucking up his race a bit too with braking early. I mean, he obviously has potential, but at the same time, you just gotta look forward. You know, we got maybe 7 races left of this series, and the fact that he was able to dominate like that and lead the most laps means he's ready. He's ready to kick ass and take names. So, just see what happens
time.
throughout the rest of the season.
Alright. Well, once again, Ludicrous Speed showing some humility. Let's go to the other Ford GT driver who isn't usually as humble. He's probably gonna have a lot to say. Drift Shots came home fourth today.
Oh god.
What do you have to say for this event?
It was a bad race for us today. We were running really good, and then we got taken out. Shit happened, and we worked our way back up. And then we got involved in that wreck with 2 to go on that restart. But we were able to keep it going. We work our way back up and get to 4th place.
Well, real quickly, out of curiosity, so you know that this was the final race that you were on probation, right?
Yes.
So, with that in mind, the instance that went on between you and the drivers in the decorative double team that's made up of Draggers X Ferrari and PM221, do you think
I
those
think with
incidents
those in
are
the team
going
by now.
to suspend you from the series, or do you think that you were in the right considering what went down there?
I was pretty much in the right. I never went after PM or Draggers. I just kept it clean.
I don't think you battled with me inside race. We just missed each other.
Yeah, we never touched each other. Me and you.
Apart from one thing, I think it was the last corner. I don't think that was Zik. I'm not sure though.
Yeah, that was my fault coming out of the last corner.
Alright.
I saw that I was.
Well, either way, good job, Drift Shots, on bringing home a 4th place finish. It might not be contained for a championship, but this is going to help you when it comes to running for the team championship. And we also want to talk to what would probably be your biggest rival in the team championship, the driver, Draggers X Ferrari, who came home 5th place today. Draggers, you had this top row starting position, and everything seemed to fall apart after that. What happened?
Yeah, well, qualifying was a blast. I was expecting. Cause I've been, as I've said in the chat, I've been practicing a shit ton just to even get good at the track. And just lap after lap after lap after lap. And just Air Rouge, I was like, I could take it fast, but it was clipping the line. And as soon as Coca said, you can run over a bit, I was like, okay. I wasn't cutting it like too much, but it was still off and I was still keeping speed. So I was like, oh, I can do some really good lap times here. And then this madman over here just comes on and says, no, fuck you, I'm getting first place. I just beat him by 1.4 seconds somehow. Which was an amazing job, Sean. So I was like, I was confident, yeah, got a second position, first row. It's gonna be good. And then I had a massive timing error, and apparently, I don't know what happened, but we was told to go at a certain time, 4 minutes. I got to about 3:58 and a half, and everyone started going. So I don't know what happened. And probably my side, my internet being shit as per usual. But it was a massive kerfuffle. I backed up the entire left-hand lane, so I've got to apologise for that. Got everyone backed up. There was instance of plenty going down there, and race carried on the same pretty much. Instance here, instance there. A lot of chatting will be going on about some incidents. I will be involved with some of that, but the end was intense. That's cutting it at the bottom level just so much. And
Draggers, just to
so
clarify,
distance. Yeah.
real quick question: were you caught up in that big wreck that happened up Al Rouge into Redillion that involved Drift Keen also? And if you were, what did you see in that?
I'm actually slide around that. I just saw the front end of the Lambo in the
I
distance.
drove under
I was
it.
like, the fuck's happening? Yeah. I just saw a Lambo taking off in the distance. Just took the turn, and there's a Lambo upside down. I'm like, oh, right. So yeah, end of the race, I had a really good run with a Ferrari BSS to the M line, neck and neck, which was decent. And then came in with this. I mean, could have done it better, could have done some cleaner passes. And just shit happens. Let's just say that, and I'll stop talking because I'm probably boring the rest of you.
Alright, well, Draggers, once again, another solid finish. Sadly, you lost a little bit more ground in the points battle, but it was a hell of a time watching you today. We also want to go ahead and talk to the driver who came home all the way down, I believe in the 10th or 11th position. It's hard to tell, but Top Gear, you won last week at Catalunya. What do you have to say about today?
I wasn't in Catalunya, so I don't know how I won.
Wait a second. Oh, so you're not AR12. Fuck! I thought this
I'm
entire
RBM
time
now.
you were AR12 Top Gear and you just changed your name.
Yeah, I joined RBM. Yes, so today's race didn't go so well. I kind of unintentionally wrecked people. I was trying to dive down on Ludacris. I accidentally wrecked him into the source. And then Coca, second to last lap, I changed into 6th. He caught up. I tried late braking. I went down into the runoff area, tried to come back on track, and I spun him out by accident. So I honestly started Coca and Ludacris. Today's race could have been better. I qualified 9th. I think I went up to 3rd was my highest, then went back down all the way to 11th or 12th. So it wasn't my best race, but I missed races, so maybe some points. Maybe I'll be ahead of Jacob since he missed today's race.
Alright,
So,
and I also, I have to take back what I said all day long. I said that AR12 Top Gear won at Catalunya. It was actually Jacob Variable. I did not know how. I forgot that or missed that up.
I missed
please
2
forgive me,
races.
viewers. So, yeah. A
Yeah,
lot
so
of
today's
stuff
race
goes
didn't
on.
go so well. I want to congratulate Chum though on qualifying. I practiced them. He was about half a second faster in practice, but then when he did the lap today, I was amazed. So Chum, good job. There's one thing I like to say. Something about drift shots. I don't think he's not going to be driving this race. I've only had 3 races with him, but he's been blocking people, sliding from people. He's been doing a lot of crap to people in this series. So if he gets suspended or kicked from the series, I don't really care. I just want to hear the verdicts because
Who do you want?
he's not been driving
suspended?
good.
He's saying he
Drift
thinks
shots.
that it's fine if drift shots get suspended because he feels drift shots is too aggressive.
Like, I know Drift King has worked today, but Drift Shots has been really, really bad. I feel like through the last 3 races I've been with him.
Okay.
That's all I got to say.
All right. Very interesting words. Do you have anything else to say about this event overall today?
I mean, it wasn't the worst race. I think Brands Hatch might have been the worst because you weren't there for this race. Out of the 40 laps we had 30 laps caution, so it's at least better than Brands Hatch. But it could have been a better race today.
All right. Well, Top Gear, congratulations on at least finishing and being able to compete at some point, and we hope to see more good results out of you in the future.
All right. See you in Hockenheim.
All right. Farewell. So once again, everybody, we want to thank everybody who stuck through and watched us this entire race. During the final run to the checkered, we had as many as 10 people watching the final 2 laps. That's a series high. We want to thank
Yeah, I had
everyone.
about 6 or 7.
Yeah, so very much thank you everyone for watching. We hope that the drivers and us as commentators were able to help put on a memorable show for you all. Next week is going to be Hockenheimring, Germany. That looks to be a very, very interesting scenario, to say the least. The point scenario continues to change as PM continues to eat holes into Lucas's Speed's points lead, but as we've seen, every single day, a different winner can still show up. Also, we want to mention one more time, Drift King, we were not able to get an interview with him, but he put on a hell of a show, having a massive rollover incident going through Al Rouge and Rodillion as his Lambo got into the wall, blew over, and rolled 7 times. Absolutely
That was
mental.
probably the main highlight.
Yeah, outside of the last 2 laps, that's probably the main highlight of the event. So, once again, thanks everyone. So, we will see you in a week's time at Hockenheimring. Until then, I'm InsaneLeader13, and this is my co-host TJ111. We will see you in 1 week's time. Peace out.